start by saying my video on the male babysitter paradox sparked a lot of debate. Some commenters used statistics to justify viewing men as a collective danger. I want to clear up the confusion around these numbers. When people say men are the danger, they are looking at a very small slice of the pie. According to official HS and NKN data, when you look at all forms of child maltreatment, including physical abuse and neglect, over 54% of perpetrators are actually female. And the most common form of abuse, neglect, is statistically most often committed by biological mothers. Mention that neglect is the most common form of child abuse, 74% of cases, and that biological mothers are the most frequent perpetrators in substantiated cases. If we use these statistics to justify suspecting all women, society would call it insane. They'd be right. So why do we accept it when it's used against men? I'm making this because I want my sons to live in a world where they are judged by their character, not by a statistic they didn't create. Let's stop using data as a weapon to exclude good people and start using it to protect all children by holding individuals accountable, regardless of their gender. The point isn't to blame women. It's to show that danger has no gender. If we judge all men by one set of stats, why don't we judge all women by the others? We shouldn't. We should judge individuals. First, let's look at the outlier myth. Some comments tried to justify suspicion toward everyday male babysitters by bringing up high-profile figures like Jeffrey Epstein. This is a massive logical double standard. We don't judge all women based on the worst female criminals in history. Yet there's a narrative that says we must judge all men by the actions of extreme outliers. If we want men to be present and nurturing, we have to stop holding them accountable for the actions of people they have no connection to. Next is the safety myth, which often shows up in the man versus bear debate. The argument is that men are a collective danger, but the actual data tells a different story. According to official HS and NKN's reports, women are responsible for over 50% of all child maltreatment cases. In fact, neglect, the most common form of child abuse, is most frequently committed by biological mothers. When people ignore these facts to claim that only men are the danger, they aren't following the science. They are following a bias. Finally, we have the accountability myth. There's a dangerous idea that children are only at risk if a man is involved. But by ignoring the statistics on female perpetrators, we actually leave children less safe. True safety comes from looking at the individual and their specific behavior, not their gender. When we hyper-focus on men as the only threat, we create a blind spot that allows real abuse to happen elsewhere. Accountability must be individual, or it isn't accountability at all. At the end of the day, statistics are just tools. We can use them to build a safer world for children, or we can use them as weapons to exclude good men from the roles society says it wants them to fill. When we look at the full picture of maltreatment data, including the fact that over 50% of perpetrators are actually female, it doesn't mean we should start suspecting all women. It means we should stop suspecting anyone based solely on their gender. I started this project because I have sons. I want them to grow up in a world where they are judged by their character and their actions, not by a narrow, deceptive narrative. True accountability has no gender. It's time we stop the paradox and start looking at the individual. Thanks for watching. Let's keep seeking the truth.